Happy amazing Thursday. I won't be with you long. I hope your day is off to a wonderful start. Woo! Last night I had a great call with Sam McDuffie. Amazing brother, doing some great things and pushing things to the next level talk, and I want you to join me. This is a replay of it. Thank you, brother. I know that somebody's going to get lifted and moved from this, so check it out. Sam is a great guy. Follow him on Next Level Talk. And yeah, let me know what you think, all right? Hit me in the comments. May your day be amazing. And if no one said it absolutely unequivocally, I love you. Get this energy. Light will always defeat the darkness. So shine bright.
What's going on, man? How are you, Sam?
Hey, man, I'm feeling blacktastic. I got no complaints, no worries. I'm above ground. Nothing but positivity over here. How you feeling?
I love it. Like a COVID test, you wait, and you know you're too much, bro. You're too much. You're too much.
Hey, look, I just got to be me at all times. I be me, man. That's all I can be. All right, we're going to jump right into it. Just tell the people where you from, a little bit about yourself, and then you get the 13 minutes. You in the hot seat.
Well, first of all, thank you for inviting me on. You and I kind of vibe off each other when it comes to positivity and moving things to the next level. Sam, you are an iconic brother, and so it's an awesome honor to be with you tonight. My name is Rockman Johnson, originally from Florida, but I've kind of been all over. I've been a host on Nickelodeon, worked for CBS, NBC, ABC. I've done movies, I've done stage. I've done a lot of different stuff. But at the end of the day, my belief and my hope is that I can leave this experience. And even though I've done a lot of stuff, media, TV, radio, you name it, I've done it on entertainment. But my hope is that I leave this experience, meaning life, a better place than it was when I got here. Currently, I'm a professor of communications and journalism at Edward Waters University in Florida. And I'm a working actor. I still am doing my thing and adding to the zeitgeist of academia. I'm proud to say, last year I was given the honor of selected by students as being Professor of the Year from Edward Waters University. And
congratulations.
Thank you. And I am even more proud that my book of poetry, Living, Loving, Letting Go, was honored by the American Library Association as Book of the Year. So I have been doing a lot of press nationally. I'm so thankful. I just got word today I'll be like the featured poet of several libraries. My book's in hundreds of libraries across the country and is blowing up the charts. So if y'all watching, go buy my book.
All right, go buy the book. All right, y'all heard the credentials. Now we're going to jump right into it. The hot seat at 9:06. All right, finding love through loving you. What do that mean to you? And break it on down. Our listeners are ready. Let's go.
Yeah, ask questions too. I want to hear the questions. And do me a favor, everybody. Thank you so much for the hearts and buy a badge. Support this brother and all that he does. Purchase a badge because that's how creators are able to create great content. And that's what this is about, this experience. People have said so much about social media that it's bad and it's toxic and all that. Here's an opportunity for you to show that it's not bad and not toxic. So I'm really excited to be a part of this with you. So buy a badge and share this. Don't let us 60 people or whatever that are here, 40 people, don't let us be the only ones talking this thing. Ask questions, get involved, but share this with your friends and people that aren't friends, because I think there's going to be some light shed and hopefully we'll be able to not just defeat the darkness, but increase the light. Loving you through loving others through loving yourself. Like so many times we talk about, one of the things that sparked this conversation was you had a post the other day and it talked about healing, right? It talked about knowing when you can heal. And so my issue, or not even issue, but my belief as I've worked through this process is that in order for us to be in a position to love somebody else, you got to first love yourself and become self-full. You know, I was at the gym, I love my workouts. And so I was at the gym working out earlier today and I talked to a brother and he was talking about, his relationship and said, hey, my wife and this and that. And relationships are hard work. And I said, no, I don't believe that. Because when you are in a space where you are finding it to be love for real, right? And you are bringing something to the table. The work is not hard. The work is purposeful. The work is necessary. The things you do, it no longer becomes work because you are supposed to be in a space. But you have to be self full first. I know you're a biblical brother. And so the concept is, think about the 23rd Psalms. One of the major points of that scripture is the Lord is my shepherd, right? It talks about that. But then it goes into saying, my cup runneth over.
Oh, come on
and
now.
When you unpack that, your cup can't run over. See, my cup, it says a little bit left at the top. My cup cannot run over unless it is first full. Which means that's a key from God telling you, fill up your own cup first. What's in the cup is mine. What run out the cup, all y'all can have that. Y'all can have a little bit of that, but you can't be good for anybody else until your cup is full. And it's not selfishness, it's self-fullness.
Oh, you got to remix that. Come on, they didn't catch that. Come
it's not selfishness, it's self-fullness, right? And so the healing that you experience, right? It's something every day you're going to go through healing. You're going to go through things of saying, well, I don't understand why this happened. But that's what life is about. It's about learning the lessons. It's about going through the experiences, not putting expectations on people and saying, well, she didn't do this or he didn't do that. No, it's accepting what they have done, learning the lessons from it, meaning that, you know what? Maybe I don't need to check Monica. Maybe this ain't what I need to be doing with Monica at this time. Don't hate you, Monica. This ain't what I need to be doing with Monica at this time, right? Because that's keeping me from filling my cup. Maybe my cup is not full enough. But when you're, and this is what, and I learned this from Iyanla Vanzant. One of the things that is so key here is that when the cup is not filled and you're trying to pour out of your cup into somebody else's cup from your unfull cup, you are now forcing them to steal.
Ooh.
And is that what you really want to do? Because you know that's got to come back on. So your cup cannot run over unless the cup is first full. So that's why we have to, for me, it comes with prayer, number one, but prayer and meditation. Okay. Those are two different things. A lot of people think prayer and meditation is the same thing, but think about it. Prayer is my conversation with God. Right? Because I'm talking to God. I'm thanking God. Sometimes I ask God for things. I usually don't ask personally, but for some people, they like to ask. I don't ask because I'm good. I thank you, Lord. I just want to thank you. And my prayer every day is, God, use me. That's it. Use your boy. That's all I ask, right? So use your boy. You know, here I am. Use me. But we talk about prayer and meditation, right? So prayer is when I'm having the conversation with God, with the higher power. But meditation is when I'm still. When I've quieted the mind, when I put everything else asunder, and I'm open and receptive for God to speak to me.
All right, I got to stop you. So what about when you're in a relationship, just say you're in a relationship and you giving your all because you want to make that person happy. What do you do? Like, I mean,
so here's the thing. That's the problem right there. You're trying to make a person happy. The thing is, you have to see it. Vicky Winans once said in a song, she said, if you don't see it before you see it, you never will see it.
Woo!
I'm going to say it one more time. Because she was powerful.
Gotta remix it.
If you don't see it before you see it, you never will see it. And I can't see all the questions. So if there are questions coming up, please hit me with those questions so I can answer them. But if you don't see it before you see it, you never will see it. Meaning that instead of trying to make someone else happy, and see, that's a fleeting concept, because in my life, I ain't saying you're wrong, Sam. I'm not saying anybody is wrong.
Gotcha.
I don't believe happiness is not a concept I subscribe to. Remember I told you in The Journey of Your Destiny, I'm writing a book right now called Joy, Finding Your Joy. Joy meaning the journey of your destiny. Woo. So one year I read the book by Terry McMillan called Getting to Happy. And I was on a plane, I read the book, I was reading the book, it was a great book. And I thought about it. Think about it, and I'll get back to what you said to answer your question. But happiness is usually dictated by an external factor. Right or wrong?
You're right.
Most times it's dictated by something outside of you. Oh, I like eating there. That makes me happy. I like hanging out with he or she. That makes me happy. I love doing this thing. I like eating chocolate. It makes me happy. Every one of those things I've said are external to you. My thing is to say the only way that you can really get to happy is by first going through joy.
Okay, how do you go through joy? A lot of us want to know we lost our joy. One Judah talked about restore your joy.
Yes.
How do you get joy? Like after all,
joy is internal. That's the thing. Happiness is external. Joy is internal. You become the wellspring that creates your own joy. And each one of us has, one of the poems I wrote says the secrets of the universe are individual to each. The same thing with joy. The beauty of joy is that each one of us has a different way, a different place, a different space to be able to inspire our joy. Right? So the question is, the work that you have to do is finding out what it is that inspires your joy. Right? And the basis of it, and I told you I'm a meditator, the basis of it is just breathing. You know, a lot of people spend time, you know, somebody I talked to said, first thing they do when they get up in the morning, pick up the phone. Or not even pick up the phone and put it to the ear, but look at the time. Right? Think about it. How many people get up in the morning? First thing they do, pick up, what time is it? Do I need to go to work? No, I don't even look at the time. I rise in gratitude. I rise saying, thank you. Thank you. I'm appreciative. Think about it. And there's a big difference when I say I'm in appreciation, because appreciation means that I'm already ready to receive it. So even higher than gratitude, the vibration of appreciation means, oh yeah, I'm supposed to get this. I'm so happy that I'm here to receive the thing I'm already supposed to have. Ooh. That's appreciation, right? And so when you rise in it, and let me tell you why that works, because in the morning, you gotta set your frequency first. Think about it. When you grab the phone, when you turn on the TV, when you look at the Facebook and the internet and the Instagram and all this, and you're getting all these messages telling you murder, death, kill. I was a news anchor for years, right? And so when I was on the air and I'm hearing people saying, you know, murders and deaths and bombings and all these things, right? One of the things I did when I was an evening news anchor is I made sure that I had a segment called Your Best Life at the end. And even though it was to inspire people, part of it was because of me, because I didn't want to leave the news at 11:30 after having said all this horrible stuff. Now I got to go home and sleep on that. I'd rather leave you on a note of positivity, because I also want to leave myself on that note. So you determine your frequency, you determine your joy. And if you get into that mode of, and you've all heard it, we've all heard it, you get into that mode of, well, what else can happen? That's negativity, right? And negativity attracts more negativity, and that attracts more negativity. So it's just like, for me, every time I drive up to a location, a grocery store, a shopping center, or wherever, I always get the parking space up front. It's always there. And do you know why?
Attraction. I got you. That law of attraction. I got you.
The reason it's there is because I say it is. We've been given that power, but most of us don't use it, because I start in the morning taking that frequency. And when there are things that tries to shift me out of alignment and out of focus, I have to stop and just breathe and meditate. And it's biblical.
Question. What is love? I mean, we all say, I love you. And it's like, in your opinion, what is love? Like, I want love. I mean, what is love? Come on now.
So I defined love. Again, y'all got to buy my book. I got to buy my book, but I'm gonna tell you, I defined love.
I'm getting the book. I got the copy sign. I'm getting the book.
So I'm gonna share this with you. Very quickly. The ancient Greeks had 8 ways of knowing and defining love. Okay, we're gonna get a little textbook. Then I'm gonna break it down. Ancient Greeks had 8 ways of knowing and defining love. Eros, which is erotic love. Philia, like Philadelphia, affectionate love, a brotherly love. Ludus, a playful love. Pragma, a long-standing love. Philutia, a self-love. Xenia, hospitality or the love of guests. Agape, the love of God, the unrequited selfless love. And storge, the love of parents toward children, known also as familial love. Now, although love at its core essence is undefinable, categorizing love is a way to help understand love. I didn't say they defined love, they categorized love. So there's no way, think about, I just gave you 8 different ways, and we usually don't do that, but the Greeks, in that specific way, use those 8 terms to define the types of love, which talks about expanding the horizon of possibilities. But the question exists, will we ever really know what love is? Will we ever? And that's a rhetorical question, but even deeper, I believe the answer is, will what is usually happening today be our reality tomorrow? And love of any kind comes from a synergy, right? It's foundational. So when I'm dating, right, because I know some of this is to do with relationships, one of the questions I ask is, were you in love with the person in your last relationship? Yes. Okay, did you love the person in your last relationship? Yes, I was in love. I did love them. Do you love them now? No, I don't love them because they was mad at me. That's a red flag for me. Why? Because love, right? It's kind of like the law of motion. Love can never be created or destroyed, only changed from one form to another. So if you've ever loved somebody for real, I ain't talking about wanting to be with them, wanting to do, wanting to say, yeah, this mine on my arm. If you ever truly loved someone, right? And I'm going to break it down with my definition. But if you've ever truly loved someone in the core essence of its being, you can't stop loving them. You may not be in love with them anymore. You may not like the things that they do. You may not support their actions. But if you ever loved someone, you never stop. So here, to answer your question, if I could define it, I gave you the 8 categorizations of it. But in order to define love, love is a knowing. See, most people think it's an action. It's more of a knowing that someone, and for lack of a better term, I'll use the colloquialism, has your back regardless of the circumstances. That's it. If I know you got my back, if I know you're there, if I just have a knowing about it, that is the true essence of love.
Wow, that's deep. I hope y'all had y'all pen and paper because I took my notes. I ain't come here to play. I'm trying to learn so I can earn. I'm trying to earn me a wife. I'm trying to earn me a date. I'm trying to earn some real love.
Hey, man, I'm glad to share with you, brother. And like I said, I don't know it all, but I am open to, like you're saying, learning every day. These conversations are what bring about the opportunity for us to really expand the knowledge of how we can be better at just being who we are.
Got you. All right. I appreciate it.
Are there questions coming?
Make sure you put your stuff in the chat. When we get the book, I'm going to get the book. I just want a signed copy. I'm going to get that tonight.
You know, I got you. Are there questions that I can answer for any of the folk? I'm looking. Let's see. I shall not want. I'm seeing. Are there questions? And I'll put the stuff in the chat. But are there questions?
All right. Do we got a question? We opening it up. He in the hot seat. We got about 2 more minutes. Do anybody have a question? I gave him the questions I have. Anybody? God is a love of sinner. Can show some type of love. Is that still action? I guess people want to know, is love an action word to you? Like, what do you define love? Is it an action word?
So and like I said, at the core essence of it, it's a knowing, right? But through the knowing comes action. So it's not only an action word. It is not just I am now doing the thing. Because think about it. That's all external. Love is a knowing. Love is not just, because think when you talk about actions, that means this person is doing something for me. This person, when you really love somebody, when you really love them, there's not a just being there sometimes. My mother, one of the reasons why I wrote this book, my mother passed away. How do you get over your ex? I got you. I'm going to help you. That's coming. So my mom passed away.
Let's jump right into that. We got like
I'm gonna get it. Hold on, let me get it. So my mom passed away a couple years ago, and that's what kind of inspired this book. And you know, one of the beautiful things about that process, she died in my arms. You know, she ended up having cancer, and I took care of her. I stopped working, stopped teaching, stopped going to school, stopped acting just to take care of mom. And so it was a beautiful experience. And so I learned the essence of love there, you know, taking care of an ill parent and washing, and I learned how to do makeup and cut hair and do all kind of stuff because I wasn't going to let my mama walk out looking jacked up, and I'm an only child. So I did what I needed to do, and that was love. She knew that I loved her, right? I knew that I loved her. I did not know the capacity. Had you asked me before, my mother was the strongest woman I know. She was a force within her own right. 700 people came to her funeral. She was that kind of woman. Wow. People from Africa, from Europe, she was her own force. So, but if you had asked me before that time, would I bathe my mother or would I do a style of wig? I would be like, what are you talking about? Like, I couldn't even fathom it. But the knowing of the love that I had for her created that space for me to do whatever. I had to log on to YouTube and figure it out, but she wasn't going to walk out the house jacked up, right? So I tell you that love is not just an action. It's first the knowing, but once the knowing commences, then the action can take place. But you got to have the feeling, the knowing, the honor of this is the space that I inhabit. Now, quickly to answer the question, how do you get over your ex? First of all, you have to live in the moment, in present moment awareness. Clearly, there's a reason why the ex was the ex. I know one of the things that you have to do, I'm really big on lists and planning. So sometimes, you know, what does it say? You know, the black folk call it, the proper name of the Bible, of the book of the Bible that I'm going to reference is Habakkuk. But you know, we call it Habakkuk. You know, the black folk call it Habakkuk. and in the second chapter of Habakkuk, it literally says, what does it say? Do you know what it says? Write the vision, make it plain, right? So you can put it, see it on the tablet, so he that seeth it may run. Is that not what it says? It says, write the vision, make it plain.
Make it plain.
I got all kind of writings here, and until it's written, it doesn't exist. Erica Badu once said, even spelling is a spell. We try to find some mystical way of doing it. Sometimes ain't no mystical magic, no dust and powder. Write it down. Because
I got one for you. I got one for you. Should you keep in contact with an ex if you broke up? If y'all have no kids, no ties, should you keep in contact? Let's get it.
Why not? Because if you've moved on, if you know who you are and you are in the fullness of yourself, why not? That was one of the questions. Remember the question I just asked in the book. If you can say that, oh, I used to love them, I don't love them anymore, that's a red flag because you never really loved them. You were just perpetrating a fraud. You were trying to say that you loved them, but you were not in love. You were in addiction. Ooh. See, many of us aren't in, we ain't in love, we in addiction because love means that I may need to let you go, right? Sometimes I've said it, especially we've all got exes. At this point in my life, at this stage, I'm 46, well, almost 46 years old. So at this place, I'm sure in mine, I've had a couple of exes. At this stage in my life, don't hate anybody. And I had to say, I release you to your own best good. I love you to the fullness of who you are. And I release you to your own best good. Ex, I call it, hey, I know a job opportunity is available for you.
Come on now.
Why would I not? Why would I? I'm not going to block my blessing because we didn't make it in a relationship.
Come on now.
How do you get over your ex? By speaking it into existence, by giving thanks. Dr. Seuss, and I'm quoting a lot of people because I know we have a short time, but I want to make it come home to you. Dr. Seuss said, don't cry because it's over. Smile because it happened.
Say that one more time. They didn't catch that. They didn't catch
Dr. Seuss said it in the
looking
book.
at the comment.
Don't cry because it's over. Smile because it happened. Think about it. There's a reason why you were with that person. You spending so much time. And I had to, let me tell you, I came to this realization. It's about my mama. Last year, during the time, and I kept saying, I miss my mother. I miss her. Because that was my best friend. She was too young to me. She was 70, but she was still a very vibrant woman. She was organic and alkaline and all the other great things and ate well, and the cancer still came, right? So I'm in this space of like, man, I miss my mom. I wanted her to be there. And I had to take my own advice, Sam. I had to get to a place where I stopped missing my mother. Because think about it. How often do you see a friend or a girlfriend or a family member and you say, oh, I miss you? Or you talk to him and say, I miss you. We got to get together because I miss you. I don't say that anymore. Why? Because miss denotes lack. And if I say that I have lack in my life, I then invite more lack to come in. So if I say I miss you, what I'm saying is indeed, yes, there is lack here, and I'm inviting more lack. I ain't trying to.
Hope y'all wrote that down.
I'm not inviting more lack into my life. I have to feel my way into goodness. So instead of saying I miss you, I have to say I look forward to seeing you again. And so for my mother, since I know one day I will see her again, y'all know what I'm talking about. I'm in the space now of saying I celebrate the beautiful moments. I am now moving from a place of missing her and mourning her and saying, I wish I had more time. I wish there would have been, to saying the time we had was magic. And that's the same thing. I'm writing the book that I'm writing about that situation is it's talking about those moments after loss. And it's not just about death, but it's about the end of a job, the end of a relationship, the moving on of children. All of those things to our lives sometimes seem as loss. But what we have to do is find ways to celebrate. And what that does, let me tell you this is a great thing, man.
Right,
the vibration.
Right, let's get it, baby. Let's get it.
The vibration of healing, right? What I just told you about not missing, but saying that you're adding to what's there. When you have that vibration of healing, of love, of light, of bring into it, it brings more. So if I can find ways to celebrate and say, oh, I remember when Fifi and I was sat in the park, and I remember when Shalonda and I went and did this. I remember when Sam and I did that. I remember when Mark and I did this. Whatever those things are, and smile, just like you just smiled. Those are the moments that you take, and what it does, it triggers something in you. Your serotonin levels go up. It makes you want more of the thing that is joyous. And that's something that comes from within. And here's the beautiful thing. That's why I don't want anybody who just per se may just need me, want to be the guy to be up under me all the time. I want you to have your joy, because I'm going to have my joy. And when we get together, it's joy rising.
Come on now. You got to say that one more time before you go.
I want you to have your joy, because I'm going to work on maintaining and uplifting and putting more into my joy. But that way, when we come together, it's joy rising. Nothing but good can happen there. And that's the problem. Too many of us become so codependent on the other, and it's not love, it's addiction. But if you live in joy, if you find joy, if you become the wellspring of joy, those who are in your circle, they too become joyous. And that joy that you bring not only is infectious, but it's light. And we don't have to work on, as I said earlier, defeating the darkness. If you shine bright enough, can't nothing dark come around. You can't have shadows when you got the light shining. I'm just saying.
You done burnt Instagram up. You done burnt Next Level Talk up. I hope y'all go get the book.
Thank you.
I know y'all got value tonight. He gave gem after gem after gem. And some of y'all was in the comments looking at the negativity like, ooh, and y'all missed out on the word. I'm going to have a replay for you.
Yeah, I can't wait to see the replay.
You got to come in here and listen, pay attention, focus. That's why he said meditate, make it silent. See, I didn't worry about what was going on in the comments. I'm trying to learn so I can earn later.
And for those, I do see someone, thank you so much for giving love. My mom, she was an absolutely amazing individual, and I learned so much from her, and I celebrate the moments that we had together. She was such a beautiful queen, such a beautiful queen.
All right, we're going to pray for you, man. We appreciate you. We got the actor, author, news anchor. I mean, he didn't live this life. I tell y'all all the time, get some life experiences.
Brother, it's can I tell you, man, my bucket list, you know, everybody have a bucket list. I want to do this, do that. I've done it. I've been an elected official. I've everything I really wanted to do in life, I've done it. And so now the wonderful things that are happening is like icing on the cake. And that's why I say, God, use me. Everything I do now is and I want us all to be in that space. So now each experience that I go through, man, I'm just like in awe. It's like, this is beautiful. This is beautiful. So I'm thankful to have met you. I'm thankful for this platform. And I pray that in some way, shape, or form that you're touched by my words. And stop by my page. I'm always leaving stuff. I talk about fitness a lot, even though it's not the only thing I do. I love doing that because this is God's temple, right? So I want to make it, I want the temple to be fly. I don't want God to have no bootleg temple, so there it is. Yeah.
All right, man. I appreciate you coming on. I'm going to connect with you. I want the book. I want a signed copy. I'm speaking it. I want my signed copy.
I got you, brother.
I appreciate you, King.
Thank you. Thank you much. Everybody be well. Blessings.
All right.